This essay is about uh, Jack's birthday party. He's now 7 years old, and but more particular, it's about the gifts that famous people have given him. Um, we started that tradition a number of years ago, and both on his birthday and on Christmas, people that are famous send him gifts and a letter of explanation. He's received. I've taught Jack and Owen art history since Jack wanted to figure out what I was doing on a laptop. I was telling him I was teaching an art history class, and he was 3 years old, hardly three, just toddling around, and wanted to know what that was on the screen. And I told him. 5, 10, 15 minutes later, he toddles back in and says, "What's that?" And it dawned on me. Perhaps he could learn art history. I've taught art history while I was still in college, subsections for a professor of mine, who I was a teaching assistant for. But I never imagined that a 3-year-old could learn. He's now 7. He knows dozens of paintings, and he knows who painted them. And he has received on Christmas and birthday for several years famous paintings that he's liked for some reason. Now, Owen, everything that Owen has is Van Gogh. But Jack has Marc Chagall, has Monet, and he's fascinated by the painting, and also is fascinated to learn about the painting. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch these two grandchildren of mine explore the world and discover things as young children. But Jack and Owen know more about anything about art than any kid in the United States that age. They also received fossils from Charles Darwin with an explanation of the fossil. And they have a fossil collection of dozens and dozens of fossils. And the reason they had fossil collection is that one day when Jack was probably about 4, he was in my backyard, which butts up against a man-made lake, and we're throwing rocks into the lake. He picked up a rock and said, "Papa, what's this?" And I looked at it, and it was seashells that had been fossilized. And I took geology back during the Jurassic period of time, and I thought, if you are learning art history now, you're going to learn about fossils. Jack and Owen were celebrating their birthday party at my house a couple days ago, and they were in the backyard throwing rocks in again. I kid you not. Jack looks at a rock and does exactly the same thing. "What's this, Papa?" And it looked like some kind of fossilization. I had no idea what it was, and I'm going to have to take it to somebody that knows more about geology than I learned when I was, it's been 50 years ago. But he did get 2 fossils from Darwin. He also got, along with Owen, a letter from Thomas Jefferson, and a roll of Jefferson quarters, and a little folder to store his collection. And he also, I have a friend who lives in Westchester who he sells Dutch bulbs, tulip bulbs, daffodil. And his name is Ben, and he's really a nice guy. And he's going to send Jack and Owen tulip bulbs from Holland, very close to where Van Gogh lived. And so they can plant this coming fall, tulip bulbs, and go out and in the springtime see them and say, these bulbs are from where Vincent van Gogh painted a lot of his paintings. Right? And I'll tell you, the reason for my excitement about teaching younger children has to do with my parents moving from one place when I was at Jack's age, a little older, where I was a good student, but we moved to a place where called Mount Lebanon in Pittsburgh, outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which was the 19th best school system in the entire country. That had a profound negative effect upon me. I learned two things when I lived in Mount Lebanon. One was I was dumb, and the second thing is I was poor. It's the wealthiest community in Western Pennsylvania. And it took me half my life to realize that I was not quite as dumb and as poor as I thought I was. And I don't want children or students that I'm still teaching in college to make that same mistake. And therefore, this is an expression of how important it is to teach the youngest of our children. Because if they start learning when they're toddlers, it'll be a lot easier than when they go to college. And so I appreciate your time listening to this video and reading this essay. In the meantime, you take care.